the Bhushans are there in a committee which is supposed to finalize a Lokpal Bill which deals with politicians, bureaucrats and maybe judges, all public servants. If you feel that private citizens like the Bhushans are guilty of any misdemeanor, prosecute them. Your timing is highly suspect. You should have taken action at the appropriate time. The fact that it comes now itself is a pointer to A, your motives, and B, to the weight of your charges against them. The Bhushans, like every private citizen who faces similar revenue charges, will have their day before the appropriate revenue authority, and that's where it must lie. But their expertise is required. The fact that they do this doesn't detract from their expertise which they will bring in the drafting of the bill. I can think of very few people who can replace them in the matter of expertise. Yes, let's say there's a cloud over their head today. At worst, that's the case against them. But that cloud can only be dissipated before an appropriate authority. This should not be brought in the public domain. And the fact that it's being dragged in the public domain is only to satisfy prurient interest and to undermine their role as experts on that committee.
Will this end? Vinod Mehta said it won't end. More dirt will be raised. Swapan Dasgupta also seems to think it won't.
Can I disagree with what Mahesh has said?
Yes. Yes, Mr. Dasgupta.
I would also like to disagree.
Yeah, I would disagree with Mahesh. You see, I think what is very important is not merely the question of their competence, but also the credibility of every single individual, including the government ministers, who are on that committee, if there's going to be a meaningful bill. Now, and I don't mean that immediately we must take a knee-jerk reaction to this, but if in 24 hours or 48 hours, we can conclusively assert that there was something ethically improper. I don't suggest there has been a corrupt practice. I don't think the Bhushans have been guilty of a corrupt practice here. I think what is the question is the ethical impropriety of accepting that sort of a dubious allotment. If that, they have failed to provide any conclusive, convincing answers to that. I think it's only in the fairness of things that in the larger interest, they should step down. I refuse to believe that there are any other lawyers.
Yes.
And it shouldn't be really a lawyer-dominated argument in any way.
Mr. Vinod Mehta is responding to you, Mr. Dasgupta. Go on. Yes, Mr. Mehta.
Can I come in?
Go on, Mr. Mehta.
Adnab, what I am saying is the Bhushans are not indispensable to this committee. But if at this time, this is very crucial, if at this time they are forced to stand down or they stand down, the moral authority of the committee, the rest of the three members will be greatly undermined. Make no mistake about that. And this is what those people who are asking for them to stand down want. So that its bargaining power, its negotiating power to get a strong Lokpal Bill is completely zero. That is the biggest thing, is first undermine the Bhushans, then undermine the committee. Bhushans are stage one of the game.
Okay, yes.
But Vinod, if they fail to provide convincing answers, I'm not suggesting that they will fail.
Oh, I think
but
they
in
should
case they can't provide convincing answers, don't you think they will be damaged goods?
No, I think they are I think that even if they don't stand down, they are damaged goods already. I think whoever is behind this campaign should be congratulated. They have managed to stick some mud on the Bhushans, and I think already whatever happens, the committee's authority, the committee's bargaining power, the committee's strength has been greatly eroded. So whoever is behind masterminding this campaign, my hat's off to him. He's done a very good job.
Is possible?
Well, I'm not sure if
there should be some damage limitation.
Well, if these two people stand down, then you will say, what is the credibility of the other three people?
No, but I want to know. I want to know where is this question? Who is bringing out this whole story? Where is the question of credibility coming? Times Now has put out, Mr. Mehta. Times Now has been running for the last 4 years. For the 4 years, Mr. Mehta.
Who is bringing this out? You know, everybody knows who's bringing this out.
Yeah, but
so I think that is very
may I make a point?
One of us has evidence. We all know.
A small point. For 4 years now, we have been running a tape in which during a narco analysis test, a man called Abdul Karim Telgi mentions the name of a cabinet minister, a sitting cabinet minister, and a sitting state minister. Now, so far, today, it's so ironical that while we are debating all this, the judge in the Telgi case again got postponed, and 1 week back, even Abdul Karim Telgi, who is suffering from a dreadful disease, wrote to the judge saying, "My lord, I am petrified that you will be transferred once again." So, we'll never know the truth in that case. The minister is still doing his job. So, this cloak and dagger politics, Mr. Narayan, you must understand, must itself be questioned. Because who are the authors of this entire movement? What have they done in the Telgi case to rush that case? It was such a big scam 4 years back. What about the politicians whose names appeared in the Telgi case, Mr. Narayan? Where is the self-righteous outrage? Where is the anger? Where is this whole sentiment? Let's act now, let's remove them. They are still holding on to their chair, Mr. Narayan. That's the limited point I'd like to make to you. You know, so before we talk about the Bhushans,
Hello?
that point must be considered. Yes. Yes, Mr. Narayan.
What is it? I can't hear. There's an audio problem here.
Yes. Yes,
Arnab,
Mr.
can
Narayan.
I intervene?
What is the question?
Yes, my
Hello?
question to you is, why don't we speak about the Telgi case? Why don't we speak about the multiple cases in which discretionary allotments are made to politicians? Don't they hold on to their chair? Don't they say wait for the court verdict?
Arnab, set up an inquiry committee and go through my writings. That's all I can do. I don't run a TV channel. I don't own a newspaper. I started independent television 89. I don't have a TV channel. So you have to see what I write and what I speak.
Okay.
I don't have an organized forum where I can make noise. Now, because the anti-corruption issue has become a national issue, I am very happy that so many people joined hands, and I think this must succeed. This is the right time. We should all join hands without our personal differences. But people of integrity should be there. People should not be there who have betrayed such causes in the past.
Right.
What is the guarantee they will not betray in future?
So, Meenakshi, quickly, I wanted to get you in. I know you've been wanting to come into the debate. What should we be looking at?
See, again, let's not deflect from the issue of corruption. Let's not make it a Lokpal Bill as the moot point to end all the corruption issues. Number 3, deflection to Bhushans. Whether Bhushans stay or not, I don't agree with Mahesh that only Bhushans can be the suitable representatives. There are very many representatives. That is not the issue, but for that, Bhushans have to take a call to stay on or to not to stay on, and media has to question to whatever extent is available to them. So far as negotiation, repeatedly I heard the word negotiation. There is no negotiation when it is an issue of bringing a bill. A bill could be brought out even as a private member bill, and why has that step not been taken in this case? The whole movement of anti-corruption being hijacked by a coterie of people is what I was questioning from day one, and that is precisely my point, that why, if we are talking about negotiations, whether a few people will hijack the movement and not negotiate with the government itself becomes the moot point. Now we have to go back to reducing corruption and talk about black money, etc., which is stashed away in outside the country, and keep the focus on those issues. And let's not deflect to other issues.
I think we are coming to one critical word. Let's not deflect. Yes, Mr. Dasgupta, I can see you want to add on a little bit there. Yes.
Arnab, I just want to make things. Let us be aware.
Yes.
Let us be aware of the hurdles, the obstacles, and the subterfuge.
Oh yes.
Which any anti-corruption movement will confront in the face of a very intransigent and an extremely cynical government.
A good point made there.
Arnab,
This government itself is going to hijack.
Okay, Mr. Jethmalani.
Arnab, just one point.
By bringing a bill, they will become the mastermind behind anti-corruption, which is what should not be allowed.
Mahesh.
Nobody says that the Bhushans are indispensable on this committee. Yes, they can be replaced, but the fact of the matter is that they have largely been responsible for the drafting of the bill in its present form. They've been associated with it. They have the experience, and it's an eminently good bill.
Why didn't they move it as a private member bill?
Because they're not members of parliament. Anyway, now
they don't have to
do you mind
be.
if you
They can move it through someone else.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that's again technicality.
Through someone else. Private members' bills never get.
Mr.
Private
Mehta,
members' bills
Mr.
never get
Jethmalani
passed.
coming to you.
Lekhi, you should know that.
No, you lobby for
Yes.
it.
Okay,
Let me
just
finish,
technicalities.
please. I was interrupted. Let me finish.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is the fact of the matter is that, let me assure you,
Yes.
you let anybody on this panel tonight name anybody else who can substitute for the Bhushans.
Okay.
And I guarantee you that the government will dig dirt and throw mud, unjustified though it may be, at whoever sits on that panel. Anybody who comes on that committee is going to face an unenviable task, and this is meant to dissuade people from getting on that committee in place of the Bhushans. I say, Bhushans, stick there. I support you.
Okay, point taken. Bhushan, stick there. Despite the report, says Mahesh Jethmalani passionately. Last word to Vinod Mehta tonight.
Arnab, what is happening right now is a clear indication of the forces against anti-corruption. This shows to what extent they will go to derail an anti-corruption bill, any movement that sets out to fight anti-corruption. This is frightening because the level to which they would stoop is incredible. So you please, this at least educates us.
Yes.
What we are up against when
Yes.
we come to fight corruption. These are the forces, and this is the level to which they will stoop.
Well, it's such an enlightening discussion. I want to say one thing at the end. Tonight, none of those people who are both, so gleeful, passing so much news, take so many positions off record and on record on the Bhushans, are talking about a man called Iqbal Singh. One link to Hassan Ali on the other side, his sons apply for a trust on the other. The enforcement directorate will interrogate him on Tuesday, and he has the wonderful distinction of being the first constitutional person holding a post to go through such interrogation. Why is nobody talking about Iqbal Singh? That's the story we put out tonight. Gentlemen and Meenakshi, thank you very much for joining me. That debate on Iqbal Singh, who is literally hanging on for dear life.